All right, so someone sent this to me, and I thought that it was a pretty interesting topic, and I'll give you my thoughts on it and react to this. This is from Joe Garcia and Mike Jimenez from Acquired Taste Podcast, and the topic being who will have the biggest leap on the San Antonio Spurs roster this year.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so before we react to this and I give you my overall thoughts on who I believe will have the biggest leap, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. You can become a patron, a YouTube member, and that's only $2 per month, or you can head over here and get yourself some merch, man. I really appreciate all the love, nonetheless. So how should I do this? So I have not listened to this at all, but should I go ahead and give you who I believe will have the biggest leap? Or should I listen? I'm going to listen first, and then I'll give you my thoughts and see if I agree or not. And also, when it comes to Mike Jimenez, from what I remember, I really hope my cat, I really hope she doesn't jump up here. Don't you even think about it. Don't you even think about it. I think he lost his show. I think he had like a radio show or something like that. Because I remember his name being Mike Jimenez, ESPN or something. I usually don't agree with his takes. At least from what I remember, but we'll see if I agree with this one. And I don't know much about Joe Garcia, but anyways, if you guys want to support him, because I'm pretty sure he's trying to grow his new platform. It's Acquired Taste, Sports and Pop Culture. Don't know how great the takes are, but we're going to listen to this nonetheless. All right, let's see what he has to say, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts on this. Do I have the desktop up? Oh, my cat's getting ready to jump. Okay.
Act together around the rodeo road trip and be a 17.5, 18 point per game guy.
His mic is so clear, dude. There's a mic that I want to get, and I'm going to get it by the end of this year. Because I do enjoy this mic, I do, but this is like one of my first mics. Like, I need to upgrade, man. This is a really good mic. I'm not going to lie.
By the end of the year. Chris Leha reaching out and saying it's going to be Jeremy Sohan and Devin Vassell. Chris, I tell you what, though, if it's those two guys that are taking a leap, the Spurs are making the playoffs.
Wait, who are the two? I'm sorry. I should have listened better. Hold on. Who?
Per game guy by the end of the year. Chris Leha reaching out and saying it's going to be Jeremy Sohan and Devin Vassell. Chris, I tell you what, though, if it's those two guys that are taking a leap, the Spurs are making the playoffs.
I don't agree with that, but moving on.
Because if you have Devin Vassell taking a leap, Jeremy Sohan, and you have Keldon Johnson averaging 20 points per game, and you have Victor Wembanyama patrolling the area playing defense, this team's making the playoffs, man. Yeah. They're making the playoffs.
I actually believe that it's probably going to be Devin Vassell that's going to take that biggest leap, but biggest leap meaning that he might be a little bit more consistent with his points per game and, other stats across the board. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm looking for him to score in the high 20s, because we have to look realistically. If you're going to go ahead and have the offense flow through one Victor Wembanyama, which is your star player here, how many touches is he going to get?
And I think that's the thing. You pose the question.
Devin Vassell? I think Devin Vassell will get quite a few touches, actually, next to Wemby. Because right now, we don't necessarily have that second guy to Wemby. And while I do think that Popovich is going to allow Wemby to, experiment and do what he wants to do, Wemby's also he's not necessarily a pass-first guy, but he is a team-first guy. So depending on what, the defense looks like or what you give him, I think Devin Vassell is going to have a lot of open looks, and he's going to be able to get the ball quite often next to Wemby. But that's just me. I mean, even Duncan, he was a monster, but he wasn't going to just score on two people, if he didn't have to. He was going to pass it up. And I think so much attention is going to go towards Wemby that the only logical person that would be starting that would get the next amount of touches would be Devin. So that's just how I feel about it. Oh my God, here she is. I knew it. I knew she was gonna do that. I knew it. Dude, she actually backed up. She backed up. I thought she was leaving the room. And as soon as I stopped paying attention, she just launched up here. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're not done with this video. Hold on.
Question: does it flow through him? What if it doesn't?
It might not.
What if he's just one of 5 players on the court, and it's just because you see Wemby play, he has vision, he has handles, and he doesn't seem to be. He has the Mamba mentality, but he doesn't necessarily need to hog the ball.
He doesn't. And I wish this clip went on a little bit longer. I think Twitter allows longer. But okay. So overall, I don't necessarily agree.
Act together around the rodeo road.
But it's not for the reason why you might think. So the reason why I don't agree with this is I don't think Devin Vassell will be the one to take the biggest leap. And the reason being is because I know that we didn't get to see him a lot last season, but I think last season was a huge leap for him. And if he's anything like, and I expect him to be very close to the snippets that we saw last year, I wouldn't see that as a jump. Like logically, I just don't see that as a jump, even if we saw him just a few times last season, most, being injured and everything, but seeing him a few times and being at that level, I'm assuming he'll still be at that level. Like we saw a lot in Devin's game that we weren't expecting. And I don't expect more than that. He was awesome. So I don't think he'll make the biggest leap. The guy that I think will make the biggest leap, though, is actually Malachi Branham. Because after I saw him in the Summer League and the type of player he is, when I saw him in the Summer League, he was way more dominant. He was more willing, or at least the coaches, that is, were like, hey, give him the ball more. Let him just do what he wants to do. And he had that one game where he went 1 for 17, but just kept going at it. And I think that we're going to see a bigger leap from him. And mostly because we didn't get to see a ton of him last season. Like, yeah, he got some minutes, but they never really played through him at all. It was more so just catch and shoot. But I think with him being on the court, he's going to really be able to emphasize his pick and roll ability. And I think Pop will realize that. And he's going to be a monster next to Wemby. That's my assumption. So when we're talking about the biggest leaps, I'm going to go with Malachi. I think Jeremy will make a decent leap, but he is a pretty refined player. Like, he just has to improve his three-point shooting, really. Devin Vassell, I'm assuming that he won't be so much better than what we saw last season, because last season would have been his biggest leap, I think, or one of the biggest leaps we might see from him. Keldon Johnson, I just don't see a huge leap there. I mean, just being real, I just don't see it. I feel like Keldon's one of those players that he is who he is. He's going to be a guy that he can put up buckets. He's going to continuously bring you energy. I think it'd be great if he ended up being like a sixth man for the team. I think that he's perfect in that role. But just overall, I don't see like much else he adds to his game. I always talk about this and I always bring it up, but like when it comes to players, just in general, not just on the Spurs, but just in general, I kind of look at, okay, in coming to the team, what is it that you specialize in? What is it that you're really great in? And then I imagine a future in which you perfect those things. And with Keldon, I don't necessarily think when I look at his game that it's something where he has something that he's just so phenomenal at, and now he just pushed it to the next level that he could be like a superstar or anything like that. Hey, can you let's just get down, okay? Let's not get on the keyboard. There we go. Now, can you stay there? Can you stay there? All right. I think she's good. She's scratching herself now. But yeah, so that's just how I view it. I know that I'm considered a Keldon hater sometimes, but I really do like Keldon. I just think that he's more so a role player, and Devin Vassell has more potential. But we'll see. But those are my thoughts. So you guys just let me know, what do you think? Once again, shout out to Acquired Taste. Not bad takes by any means. I was expecting worse because I usually don't agree with anything. But I mean, I guess I didn't agree with that, but I didn't think it was a bad take or anything. But yeah, so if you guys want to support him, please do Acquired Taste, Sports and Pop Culture. Just type that in and I guess help your boy out. But anyways, I'll get with you guys later. Till next time. Bye.